All right, y'all, welcome back. So a few things. I think I mentioned in another video in stating like I'm not a historian, that I haven't taken any courses, like any history courses. I meant ones that fall in line with like actual history programs. Obviously, my African American Studies course is a history course. Obviously, a lot of the sciences I'm studying are studying the past in a way. So just wanted to clear that up. And then I know I also said, y'all see what happened was, I know I said that I need to separate, our time in history here over the last few centuries from like prehistory, ancient history, antiquity, what have you. But the reality is, I don't know that you can. I really don't. I mean, it all informs each other, you know? It all intertwines. So there will be videos where I'm specifically speaking to a lot of the biblical past history, prehistory, whatever. And there will be videos where I'm speaking to our history here. It just is what it is. Um, this morning, I finally got some rest, y'all. Took my butt to bed around like 5 a.m. And I'm being led now to really look into a lot of like the codes of arms. I don't know. Not a big proponent of AI at all, at all, at all. But it is, it's what it is. So we're going to kind of read this overview real quick. But let me kind of walk y'all through my thought process just a little bit. So I'm like, yeah, well, I like all these symbols. We're seeing all of these. What do you call these things, y'all? What are these called? Put in the comments, please, what these are called. But y'all know what I'm trying to say. These family crests or whatever. On everything, documents, physical things, everywhere. And so I'm like, all right, there were a lot of coats of arms and what have you um, when it came to the slave trade. Y'all forgive me, I just, woke up like an hour ago, so my mind is still warming up to the day. Let me take a sip of tea. And obviously, I need to triple check and, dig deeper into what this is supplying. But um, I remember coming up in a lot of my biblical studies hearing about the dukes of Esau and Edom often, and their lineage kind of being traced from scripture. And I remember seeing in particular an actual family tree, like an actual family tree with pictures. And I think I pulled up a document so I can kind of show y'all what the pictures looked kind of like this. I mean, but it was dozens of people in the rankings of dukes in an old, I believe, King James Bible. I think the only Bible that actually chronicled their family line with photos. I mean, it was very thorough, very intricate, and I've got to find that. But I was like, okay, yeah, very interesting, very interesting. And so I'm like, well, what role did they play, these royal dukes, in the slave trade? And apparently they were pretty central. And they've been around, obviously we can see them mentioned here in scripture for forever, right? And these particular individuals, I don't know much about their history, I don't know much about them, but from what I've been exposed to, are very meticulous about keeping their bloodlines pure and passing on, their traditions and what have you. Obviously, many of them are connected to, royalty where they're from. So, yeah, and so I'm like, okay, okay. And so this is relevant because it helps us to identify who Esau or Edom, um, Esau being the father of the Edomites, who these people are and the role that they've played when it comes to our history. It's very significant. And not only that, but the biblical spiritual judgments on these people. Very significant. Listen, if our goal, and I don't know who R is, I know I'm included in that. I don't know who's, You never know who's really an ally or not. And I don't think that, I'm definitely more weary than anything. But if the goal is to, as many of us like to talk about, especially in the herbal community, the botanical community, to decolonize what has been colonized, then shedding light on the truth and exposing. I'm just kind of shuffling through this so y'all can see some of the resources that I have up. This is this Bartram? No. This is just a voyage to the Carolinas. I'm always looking to see how they describe the natives. And I do think even some of the red natives were also a part of our ancestry for sure. But I wonder if a lot of like their red characteristics are due to their paintings and customs and the ways that they would like decorate essentially their skin. And maybe they were copper tone or, tawny underneath. I don't know. Still, figuring this stuff out as I go along. I did find this, which I was really happy to, because it was referenced a lot. But I think this is more so, yeah, with like South America and other. But anyway, and so, what was I saying, y'all? I be getting sidetracked. Well, yeah, I was saying I'm pulling this up for y'all to kind of see some of the resources that I'll be delving into here soon. This one was interesting to me because we went through the Pliny Elder records, right? And also the Vienna Dioscorides, Dioscorides. Ooh. And it's held in the Austrian library. And so just thought that was interesting. you know you know but my bad, y'all. I forgot what I was saying. But yeah, I think this is important to delve into this stuff. And also too, in this conversation, which again I know is a bit separate from our current plight as foundational Black Americans and the more immediate repairing that needs to happen because of our experiences here. I get that. But in the grand scheme of things and the historical record, I think it's interesting that, at least in my experience, which is not saying much, right? There is very little conversation, more than anything regarding like the Mongols, but very little conversation about the role that other Asian countries have played. Because I'm telling you, the entire continent where people reside have benefited in one way or another through the scattering, through the existing of the children of the Most High God from one corner of the earth to the next. And listen, judgment's coming regardless, and that's not something any of us as his creation are going to render. He finna take care of that to a degree, because there will still be, like we'll see in the Dead Sea Scrolls when I pull those up in a later portion, wars and conflicts and all of the things between different nations and people, for sure. And no, it's not a matter of us just lying down and saying, oh, the Lord's going to take care of it. No, we can fight back. Okay? But I mean, eternal judgment. I mean, the kind of judgment that can be rendered out that no human being can do, you know? It's gonna happen. And we'll kind of get into that too. But yeah, I think it's important to start identifying who these families, who these people are. You know? Especially when it comes to, which is kind of like one of the central focuses of this channel, the plant kingdom and the narratives around that, and botany and the apothecary, pharmacy, etc. So, like I said, it's all connected. We gotta go in the past in order to make sure that where we are presently is correctly situated. Because the past is present after all. So, again, check out Internet Archive. You can find a lot of these resources for free. You can download them. Also, wanted to look into a lot of the, I guess, direction, instruction, and treatment of those enslaved. And want to find more records specific to North America and some of the more descriptive records of the what some records call Aboriginals, Aborigines, Natives, Indigenous, Indian. All right. So thank y'all for tuning in again. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share. If you know of any resources that could be helpful in my discoveries, please leave their titles or a link in the comment section. Much appreciated. And y'all be blessed.